Okay, good morning, class. Is everyone's here now? So, okay, let me see. I'll check your attendance and say present if you're here. Okay. So, Miss Intal, are you here?
Good day po, sir. Present po.
Okay, thank you so much for responding, Miss Intal. How about you, Miss Dugang? Are you here, Miss Dugang?
Yes, sir. Present po.
Okay, so thank you so much. Is my audio loud and clear now? Can you hear me?
Opo,
Okay.
sir. Yes po.
Okay, thank you so much for that confirmation. Okay, I'm glad that you are here in my class. I appreciate your effort and eagerness to learn. And without further ado, let me now discuss our lesson for today. And this is all about the shortening infinitives. So let's go. Let's go further. Hold on. So we call it shortening infinitives because there are phrases with infinitives that can sometimes be reduced or shortened to prevent the repetition. So this helps the language to sound more natural. So let's go. So we have here an infinitive. Hold on. So there are two classifications of infinitive here. The first one is the infinitive, which is we're just using the word to, and a full infinitive, which is the word to be. So just be reminded to take note of this words, infinitive and full infinitive. Okay, just for a moment. So what are the purposes of shortening infinitive in a sentence? So here are some purposes. Here are some purposes of shortening infinitive in a real life conversation. Okay, just look at this. Okay, so this is the purpose of shortening infinitive. First is to make the conversation short. Next is to avoid the repetition of long words so that we can formally talk to someone and also to sound more naturally. And for that, let's proceed. Hold on. So there we go. Let's proceed now. And to make the class exciting and to teach it more better and to better understand, let me create this real life scenario. So this is the role play in our mind. So let's try to imagine this. We want to eat in a restaurant, okay? So we want to eat in a restaurant. But then again, we need to choose whether which restaurant is more satisfying to spend money and time and along with the quality of their food. So this is now the restaurant. So let me show you this picture. So then, so there you go. There were pork restaurant and also a seafood restaurant. So this is the restaurants that we are trying to have or on our role play. So now seafood restaurant and the pork restaurant. But then again, we have decided to eat in a pork restaurant. So hold on, let me go ahead and can you please read the sentence in your screen, Miss Intal? Just hold on. Wait a moment. So can you please read the sentence, Miss Intal? Can you see it now?
Yes po, sir. It's
Okay.
neither pork or seafood restaurant, but we chose to eat in a pork restaurant.
Okay. It's neither pork or seafood restaurant, but we want to but we choose to eat in a pork restaurant. So okay, thank you so much. So can you notice the infinitive in the sentence, Miss Intal?
Yes, sir. Upon reading the sentence, I noticed that the phrase to eat is our infinitive po.
Okay, so let's see if you're correct, Miss Intal. So okay, so it's neither pork or seafood restaurant, but we choose to eat in a pork restaurant. Okay, you're correct. The infinitive here in the sentence is the word to eat. So there you go. So the preposition to plus the verb, which is it, is our infinitive. Now, can you please read the other sentence, Miss Tugang? Just wait a moment. Hold on. Okay, so can you please read the sentence, Miss Dugang?
Sure po. We want to eat in a pork restaurant because we want to.
Okay, we want to eat in a pork restaurant because we want to. So thank you. So can you tell me what is the use of infinitive want to here in the sentence?
I think, sir, it plays a role that makes the sentence shorter and not repetitive.
Okay, very good, Miss Duga. So let's mark the shortening infinitive and infinitive. Here we go. So there we go. We want to eat in a pork restaurant because we want to eat in a pork restaurant. So we just no need to repeat at all, but instead we will just say the shortening infinitive we want to make it more sound natural. So Miss Dugang, you're correct. So hold on. So on the next slide, can you please read the words that flash on the screen, Miss Ruby, Miss Intal?
Yes po, sir.
Okay.
Instead of repeating the whole infinitive clause, to can be used on its own if the meaning remains clear.
Okay, thank you so much for that. So take note of that. So we will just using the word to if the meaning remains clear. Okay, take note of that. If the meaning remains clear, we can just use the to as a shortening infinitive. Okay, now let's go back to the scenario. There we go. Just for a moment. So on our scenario that we created in our mind, we are now sitting on the table, and one of us or one of you decided to order in a meal. So, Miss Dugan, can you please read a sentence that flash on your screen?
The waiter asked me if I wanted to eat a crispy pata, but I prefer not to.
Okay. The waiter asked me if I wanted to eat a crispy pata, but I prefer not to. Okay. So, can you tell me what is the infinitive clause in the sentence, Miss Dugan?
The infinitive clause is prefer not to po. And just like what you
Okay.
said, the use of this infinitive is to make the sentence shorter as you respond to a question or a sentence po.
Okay, Miss Dugang, thank you so much for that. Very good. So now I hope that we can relate our lesson for today in a real life situation. Okay, proceeding on the next scenario. Hold on. Yeah, you're correct that to eat is our infinitive and I prefer not to is our infinitive clause. There you go. Hold on. Okay, going back. So, but one of us wants the crispy pata as the meal of the day, but she noticed something. So, can you please read the sentence here? Um, can you proceed and read the sentence, Miss Ruby, Miss Intal? I mean,
The crispy pata isn't that tasty than it used to be.
okay. So, do you have something to say about the sentence?
Sir, based on the sentence structure po, I think there was a verb be and
Mhm.
full infinitive on it, which is the word isn't as verb be and to be as full infinitive.
Okay, oh, very good, Miss Ruby. That's exactly happened here in this type of sentence. So be mindful that, wait, just hold on. So you're correct that the word crucipata isn't is the verb be and to be is our shortening infinitive. Just for a moment. So okay, so be mindful that if the previous sentence or clause contains the verb be, then the full infinitive to be must be used rather than just the word to. Okay, so I hope that it clarifies. So there you go. Hold on. So in the next sentence, can you please read the sentence, Miss Dugang?
I decided to drink more wine, but I don't want to. And the
Mhm.
packaging isn't recyclable, but it ought to be.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Durga. So can you tell me now what is the infinitive and the shortening infinitive used in the sentence?
Sure po. The
Okay.
first sentence has the word to drink as an
Mm-hmm.
infinitive and want to as the
Mm-hmm.
shortening infinitive. While
Okay.
on the second sentence po, we just use the verb be,
Mm-hmm.
which the
Okay.
word isn't. Aside from that po, we are now obliged to use the full infinitive to be in making the
Okay.
sentence correct and still. And the sentence and or the meaning rather makes sense.
Okay, very good, Miss Dugang. So it seems both of you have already mastered the infinitive. Thank you so much for both cooperation that you give. This class is excellent. So now let's proceed in the scenario. Now this time, after eating in the restaurant, we had finished now eating, and we decided to go home. And one of you said this. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. There we go. So can you please read the sentence that flashed on the screen, Miss Intal?
I want to come home early as I promised.
Okay, so thank you so much. So, Miss Intal, can you please tell me what is your observation on the sentence?
Sir, I think po it's the infinitive. In this
Mhm.
type of sentence, there's no shortening infinitive mentioned at the end of the sentence po.
Okay, very good, Miss Intal. So exactly that's it. So try to take note of this. Another take note. Just for a moment. Okay, so I want to come home early as I promised. So the infinitive is to come, and as you see, there was no shortening infinitive at the end of the sentence. It's because the entire infinitive clause can be dropped, or two can be kept on its own after the verbs such as agree, ask, forget, promise, start, and try. So just try to remember that these verbs we can just drop our infinitive to or our infinitive clause. Okay. So and what Miss Intal has mentioned earlier, I want to come home early as I promise. Let me flash the sentence first. Hold on. I want to come home early as I promise. Okay, I'm so sorry. So I want to come home early as I promise. We can also say that I want to come home early as I promised to come. Or we can just say, I want to come home early as I promised. See, that we can drop the infinitive or we can keep the infinitive, whether it still makes sense because as the verb promise, it is our sentence. So there we go. Hold on. So it is clear for you?
Yes po, sir, clear po.
Okay, thank you
Yes
for
po.
the confirmation. Okay, thank you for the confirmation. Now, it's 9:51 in my time, and I'll give you 3 minutes to think of the sentence that the word here agree, ask, forget, promise, start, and try. And I want you to connect this sentence on our lesson for today, which is the use of infinitives. Okay, so 9:51 we will going to have our recitation at 9:54. Okay. Okay, thank you so much for that. So try to think of the sentence first. Okay, my time is 9:53, 9:53, and you have just 1 minute to think of the answer. Okay. Okay, time's up, and I hope that you have your ideas or sentences to be recited. And there we go. So, okay, Miss Dugang, you want to come up first? So, can you please tell us about the sentence that you have think on the 3 minutes that I gave to you? Yes, Miss Dugang.
I want to try this sentence po, but correct me if I'm wrong. I
Oh, sure,
want to
sure.
bring, I want to bring my new phone, but I forgot.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And since you mentioned earlier po that we can keep or we can drop the infinitive using the word forget po, we can also say this. I want to bring my new phone, but I forgot to bring it.
Okay, very good, Mr. Gang. You're correct. So you use the word forget or forgot so that we can drop the infinitive or we can keep the infinitive. How about you, Miss Intal? Do you have your sentence right now? Can you please discuss it?
Yes po, sir.
Okay.
Um, they want to join in a basketball team, but they didn't try. I
Mm-hmm.
use the word try po, and I just found out that we can use this verb as an ending statement, and we can just drop the infinitive too po.
Okay, so very good class. I am happy that you really understand the lesson for today. Thank you so much for your cooperation. And that's it. So I hope that you can apply our lesson for today in a real life situations, just like in a situational scene that we created. We are now able to know that the use of shortening infinitives in a sentence is to make it more clarifying and there's no repetition and also we can make the sentence sound naturally. And for that, that's all for today. And this is how our lesson ends. So can you please turn on your cameras for a quick screenshot as a documentation? Okay. Okay. Thank you for your participation, Miss Intal. Okay. So I will take a shot and 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay. So thank you so much for that, and bye for now. Bye.
Thank you po, sir.
Okay. Thank you.